When I was a graduate student at the University of Tübingen in Germany, I was studying the Holocaust. It was a difficult time, but I loved taking bike rides. The German culture had done this great thing where they took all sorts of areas and let them revert to nature. Then they had all these trails going through them, and you could take bike rides. And I would go out into nature, particularly on a Sunday morning, sun shining, and go lickety-split with my bicycle and my Walkman with all sorts of cool music playing in my ears, because that's what I did. I would get into the zone, and I would just get lots of exercise and sort of steam my way and my body into a good state after all that difficult thinking. But then there was this moment when I almost fell off the trail and my earplugs came out and I heard this immense croaking. And I looked to my left, and there was what I later discovered to be called a vernal pond. It was this huge body of water. Huge. It was a small body, but it was definitely a body of water, a puddle that had on steroids, that was full of frogs, and they were croaking like crazy. And as I went over to look at them, I was maybe a little bit horrified, a little bit crazed, because they were in a mating frenzy. It was a frog orgy. The males were piling on top of females. There were huge writhing piles of frogs. There were other cases where individual pairs had broken off and they were doing the deed. There were frogs croaking in the midst of all these eggs that had been laid, so that the whole puddle was not just water, but was a thick sort of swill of eggs. And all these frogs joyously being a frog, doing their frog thing. Some of the mating was not exactly happy, in the sense of there would seem to be a lot of pushing the other person under the water sort of thing going on. So, it's a little, sort of made me feel queasy, but at the same time, I was struck by two things. One, how strange and various nature was. How different this was than what I had been looking for when I went onto the trail looking for some sort of release and peace in the living world. And secondly, those earplugs. If I had not had them pulled on, I would have never heard that immense croaking, and I would have never gone over and looked. I would have never really met nature face to face, or frog to human. And that was an amazing moment.